What's good, family? Welcome to another episode of An Honest Conversation about hip-hop. I am your host, D. Moraney, a.k.a. Hip-Hop's Uncle Phil, a.k.a. Hip-Hop's old head. And tonight, I'm sitting down with people that are my family. And we're going to have a nice conversation about a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and always let them introduce themselves. I'm going to go ahead and start with the man to my right, the one and only.
Yo, what's up? It's D. Haile.
D. Haile, how you been, my brother?
All right, man. Blessed, bro.
Feeling good. Living
the life.
All right. And right across from me, he's been on the show, I think now this is his third time. He's come here to save Kanye once. And we'll figure who he's going to try to save today. But the one and only.
Michael J. Morse, a.k.a. The Code. And I think I've been on here more than 3 times, but
Damn.
I'm
The
not going to quibble.
The correction.
Wait. So, hold on. Well, the code, like, what are you, wrestling niggas or
Morse,
something?
like the
Chris
code,
Jericho?
you know, like the Morse code.
The Morse code.
Morse code.
Yeah. I got you. And as always, my mellow, my ace, one of the regulars on the show, the one and only.
Big Pooh, a.k.a. The Stroke.
The Stroke. So we got the code, we got the
first
Stroke.
time I heard that.
Yeah, and we got
shit.
Haile in the building.
Oh my God! I gotta rethink my intro because that shit was heavy right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think about that home when I go home and cry to sleep tonight.
I want to really quickly, man, send a big shout out to our brother San Capone, who is not here with us tonight. He's taking care of some family business, man. So you're in your thoughts, you're in our minds, and definitely in our prayers, my brother. So hope everything is safe. Really quickly, man, shout out to Big Bad Radio out of Philly. You know, you can catch us every Monday morning from 7 a.m. to 10 or 7 a.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific. Shout out to Nyce Rockwell, who's always rocking with us. You're going to hear his music in the back tonight. And before we get started the show, check us out, Lisbon, IG, and of course on Facebook. So, fellas, a lot going on in the world of hip hop. And we got a lot to get into. So we'll start off a little light. Diddy announced that he is bringing back The Band. So that is, for those who don't remember, that was the reality TV show he had on MTV in a couple different forms. I think he had some rappers, then he had some singers. Some of them walked for cheesecake, some of them fist fought for studio time. So, you know, Big Pooh, I'm gonna start with you, man. Diddy and The Band. I'm gonna ask you, is that something that, first of all, are you going to check for? And then, do you think it's going to work now in today's reality TV world?
I think it'll work because everybody's looking for exposure. I think the last time he did it was more like, I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on the format. You know, last time he kind of had like, okay, I'm doing hip hop. I'm going to do this little boy band. I'm going to do a girl little band. I think people will tune in because of the social media age that we're in now. If you just get on there as a contestant and don't make it, you still get followers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you still blow up. So I think it gives even more people exposure.
Yeah, that is true. It's definitely, I think, a good look for someone who's trying to break into the industry. Mike, let me ask you, The Code. Give us a word on Diddy bringing back Making the Band. Were you a fan of Making the Band? And again, do you think it's something that's going to work in this era?
I was a fan of Making the Band. I think like a lot of the reality TV shows of that era, one of the parts of Making the Band that was maybe overplayed was there was drama here and there. It wasn't, reality TV wasn't so scripted back then. It wasn't so over the top. So when there was an incident, when there was a fight, when there was something that happened, it was a lot more noticeable. So I think it came across as kind of more genuine, even though reality TV at that time, back in those days, was still staged to some extent. But I think it could work. I think it could show kind of a new generation Diddy, you know, give him some exposure to kind of the newer heads who are checking for hip-hop. I think where it could go wrong is if it gets too over the top, if it gets too kind of what is the typical reality TV show.
People throwing drinks at each other and all the other wildness. But I mean,
and it wasn't like that at the time. There were some, moments like that, but I don't think it was as over the top as most reality TV shows are, where you have people who will go on the show just to be the villain and just to be the this or the that.
Mona Scott's definitely changed the game. She's taken reality TV to a whole nother height. And her shit is over the top with everything that happens.
And the producer?
No, Mona Scott does Love and Hip Hop. So she's doing Love and Hip Hop, and I'm comparing that to how Diddy and MTV did his thing. So different era. I think he's going to have to include some of that for it to be relevant. Haile, let me ask you, man. Diddy making the band. What's your thoughts on that, man?
For me, it's like any reboot. The premise stays the same, but what's changed now is the dichotomy of the times. So what we have is music's changed. Puff Daddy's actually changed, right? Where he was in his career at the time is not where he was now. What was the last show he just judged on TV?
Was it The One or some shit like that? Something like that.
That's a different Diddy.
Yeah.
It's on a different level. So I know he's real hands-on with what he's involved with. I mean, we're not gonna have another Dylon, right?
Yeah.
But what you compare that to now, you know what I mean? All these new SoundCloud rappers and
yeah.
just the industry in general and music has changed so much that I don't think you can recreate that feel at that time. But with the same premise, I think they could regenerate a new interest. Mm-hmm. Definitely, there's a need for something different on TV that we don't have, and it's more young black people on TV, man. I support that. I support that in itself. Anytime there's a reboot of something with African Americans in it, I support that. Yeah. Although I may not be, support with the way it comes out or how it sounds. I just like that it's on TV and people get to see it.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Puffy is still relevant enough to make this work? At one time, he was one of the dudes in the industry. Now, in my opinion, music has moved past him. He's more of a brand, a mogul. Yeah, mogul type thing. So do you think if these youngsters are sitting in the same room as somebody who's maybe not as cool, relevant, you're the old dude, like, are these youngsters really going to respect him? Or is he going to have to bring in hella young people and they really be the ones that are, the coaches and so forth?
Honestly, when you say it like that, I kind of think his time is past. And on top of that, when I think about it, man, other than sporting events, I don't even watch TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm on social media or on YouTube or some type of pirated device.
Yeah.
Getting content.
Right.
But as far as Puff goes, man, I don't know. Because you think about it, he was promoting his son heavy, and that shit fell flat on his face.
It did, yeah.
The old Puff, that shit would have came across. So,
yeah, definitely.
It may be over for him as far as that.
This is a Viacom MTV thing?
From what I've heard, MTV gave him some big money to do this.
Yeah.
I would assume if he was smart, why wouldn't you put it on Revolt, which is yours?
Or he owns that.
Yeah, that's his. So
it has to be contractual too. They own the name.
Yeah.
Maybe they own the name.
Yeah, they probably bought it at some point. It has to do with
what they bought the first time.
Yeah.
I just spent the week with 3 black women. I live with a black plumber. I'm a black man myself. I don't watch reality TV.
You live with a black plumber?
I live with a black plumber. We don't share the same bed.
No,
he's my landlord.
Said that. I was about to make what was the nigga's name from Living Single? This nigga just jumped out the window. We don't sleep in the same bed. I was like, yeah, nigga, you got Overton living with you, nigga?
The way I said it was
that's where I was going. This nigga said we don't sleep in the same bed. Like, man, nigga. Mario and Luigi, calm down.
I've been calling to my roommate all week, and people been checking me like, no, nigga, that's your landlord. You don't sleep in the same bed with that nigga. That's your landlord.
Oh, I got you.
So you got to use the right terminology.
All right.
He works as a plumber all day. He comes home and he watches Basketball Wives.
Right.
And he watches Real Husbands of Hollywood. Shit with
Nick Cannon and them.
The Atlanta House. What's the other one?
Husbands or some shit. Atlanta Housewives.
He watches that, and now he's watching Ladies Cruise with
Lil' Kim.
That's
crazy.
And that's all he watches. That in westerns. This is a 55-year-old black man.
Okay.
And I just spent the week.
Makes sense. He's trying to see half-naked heifers.
I spent the week in Palmdale with my in-laws.
Yeah.
And that's all they recording and that's all they watching. Yeah. And so there's an audience for it.
I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying.
I don't want to watch it.
I'm just saying if Little Drippy Draws is in the studio with Puff and Puff is telling him you need to do this ad-lib, does he have that same influence,
with
impact?
This new generation?
Or would Little Drippy Draws rather be in there with somebody else, one of those littles, getting instructed on how to do little shit? Because Puff can help them as far as terms of this is what you need to do with your career. But if Puff was still making dope music, we know Puff. He would be still making the music. This nigga would be out here with all these little niggas making music too, but he's not. He's doing other shit. And I think that's because all the shit he dropped in the last decade, tell me a hit. Give me something that stuck around after he stopped messing with the dirty money broads.
I think it'll probably have a successful debut, but depending on the content, it'll probably start to decline.
I agree, man. I mean, that's my opinion. I just
the
don't.
last influence musically was him listening to Nipsey's album and giving it a thumbs up and giving it some type of approval, and being on that interlude. Other than that, I know what you're saying. His influence is probably faded. Yeah. And I can see that. But, Young Drippy Draws needs a plumber. You feel me? He needs some guidance.
It always comes back to plumbers with this guy.
You feel me? It's somebody in the game that's been there. Whoever goes on the show understands that it's his show.
It is, but see, we're in the day and age, Holly, where you don't need there's no more gatekeepers.
Yeah, exactly, because we're talking about SoundCloud rappers and people that can make it themselves on YouTube.
So you don't need that. In Nipsey's situation, he's a different artist.
That's self-made.
Nipsey's somebody who's self-made and wants to have that cosign of a mogul type nigga like Puff.
Yeah. Okay, I just got to speak on something for Puff right now.
Go ahead.
The track that Puff was on Nipsey's album was one of the hottest songs on the album just because of Puff's ad-libs.
Yes, no one's taking
Puff's
that
one of the hottest ad-libbers in the game, bro. If you don't acknowledge that, I'm gonna walk off the set right now.
Off the set, nigga, we in my garage.
I'm gonna walk off your garage right now, bro. You don't give Diddy, you're supposed to be a B.I.G. dude.
And he pushes the button on the way out?
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Can you imagine that?
First off. Second of all, I think that one of the criteria for finding these contestants is these cats are going to have to be in their audition, which is going to be them on their cell phone, singing the praises of Diddy and his influence in the game. I think they're going to have to demonstrate that they understand and appreciate who this person is who's running the show. And then I think, and if they're being honest about that, maybe they won't be. All of them won't be. Yeah, but I think that the ones who get on the show, I think they will be able to demonstrate that they appreciate Diddy's sort of legacy and who he is as a mogul and as a music sort of innovator.
They signed something saying, when I come on this show, I understand that the rights to whatever I do on this show is going to belong to this man.
On some American Idol.
Exactly.
Right.
So
and
whoever signs on already understands that coming in, but you're one of the hottest niggas ever on the ad-lib tip. And you were one of the best guys that put people on a track together and coming up with a sound.
Appreciate that.
And so these are one of your strong points. And then when I heard you flow, I was like, oh, this nigga can flow too.
I appreciate that.
All right,
as well.
I'm not trying to toot your horn because I don't want to kick out the garage, nigga.
This is the dynamic.
This is little Droopy Draws talking to Puff right now.
I just need to ride home, nigga. You feel me? No, but thank you for the spiked Seagrams. I'm just saying, what you're saying is the dude over the hill with these new cats, with the new generation.
It's not even his age. I just think he doesn't relate. There's probably a lot of dudes around Diddy's age that you might be able to put in that studio that are going to be able to relate to these old dudes. Diddy last hit, to my knowledge, was fucking Last Night, where he was singing and all that crazy shit.
Was hot, though.
All right, but how long ago was that? Now again, these little cats know him from being maybe the Ciroc dude, maybe the shiny suit dude, if they do their homework. If not, they know him for Ciroc, and I don't know what else they know him for.
Or the dude their mom flicked their bean to for the first time.
Well, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we'll see. I think, in closing, I think they're going to have to get a lot of already artists who are kind of buzzing. Not so much signed artists, but the SoundCloud people who have a large following or whatever. I think it's gonna be heavy South influenced, and
mumble rap gang.
Yeah, it's gonna be. He's gonna have a group of little mumble rappers that he's gonna put out, and it's gonna be interesting.
He said he's doing it global.
Oh wait.
So that's what I'm saying. Is it gonna be hip hop or what the fuck is it gonna be?
Well, knowing Puff, he'll have a K-pop singer, he'll have a mumble rapper, he'll have a West Coast gangster cat, and it'll be some smorgasbord that didn't work like the last time with Fred and Sarah and Dylon. Like, you just can't it's hard to just put people together, especially in hip hop with the culture, how it's a lot of bravado, very toxic, people not really fucking with other people. You know what I mean? It's hard. You can't. It's gonna be harder to do that now. You know what I mean? And it's going to be hard to control. With all the social media, you're not going to have the same sort of control that you did back in the Making the Band days. Twofold, you'll also have more exposure because these people will be able to go live and do all this other shit and share a little bit more. But, I mean, it'll be interesting. I will check out the first episode, and then we'll go from there. So, Nas, Lost Tapes. I know not all of us have heard it. Some of us have. Those that have heard it, I'll start with you, Haile. You heard it. Let me ask you, how are you receiving Lost Tapes? I know it's been out like 8 hours or some shit like that.
I just think we're all so thirsting for true hip hop right now, any old hip hop head could appreciate it. And if you're an old hip hop head and you can't give yourself time to try to listen to it, then you have no empathy for the lack of the struggle that we're going through as true old hip hop heads right now. There's a lack of true music in the industry right now. What we call true music is the old style rap that made us fall in love with hip hop in the early 90s and 80s and the 70s and actually coming into the early 2000s. And I mean, he's a legend. Give a legend a chance. You know what I mean? Don't get caught up in the Hennessy commercials. Just give him a, you know what I mean? Listen
Chase
up.
the rabbit or whatever.
Right. Listen up, bro. It's Nas. I don't know, man. I defer to the elders on this. I really defer to the elders on this.
Yeah. No, I mean, I
like it. I like it. It's refreshing.
I agree. He definitely, in my opinion, Nas drops anything, you have to give it a listen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's Nas, and Nas has earned that. He's one of them dudes up there with the J's and, you know, the Eminems, hated to love it or whatnot. Those artists who are legacy artists at this point, they drop a record. If you claim you're about hip hop culture, then you are gonna fuck with it. You know, if you really are supposedly a hip hop head, you're at least gonna give it a run through. I gave it a run through. I'm somewhere in the middle, at a 5 or a 6 right now. Tracks 9 through whatever the ending are fire. I like the Tiana track with him and the RZA. I think the RZA and Nas. My biggest takeaway from this project is RZA and Nas didn't do a whole project together. I need that. I need to hear that before, before the casket drops. But that's my opinion. Pooh, ever you get a chance to check into it? I know you're normally a big Nas head. I know you've been super busy, but
well, like I said to you on Facebook yesterday, I can check it out on the freeway so I can really vibe to the album and lab this shit. Unfortunately, I got about 2 tracks in, and one of these bitches addicted to my stroke. Interrupted my session.
All right. So before
I see where the name comes
from. Before the stroke phone rang, what was your impression before? Well, you know, Batman got the bat phone. Who got the stroke phone? The stroke phone and shit.
You know, when it first came on, when I was listening to it, it didn't start off bad. I could kind of tell that it was maybe an extra track because it just didn't. The vibe of the song didn't kind of go together. You could tell it was just like something that wasn't like mastered the correct way or something. But his flow, what he was saying, sounded cool. I mean, you know, I'm kind of Nas biased.
Yeah.
It's like the way, I don't know, how can I say it? I love Nas the exact opposite of the way I like Kanye and Drake.
Right.
I can't stand them niggas.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
I'll say one more thing for you to defer to my other elders.
Sure.
I did not get the vibe that these were songs cut off of Columbia's checklist, meaning these were songs cut off of prior albums because there wasn't enough room.
Right.
Some of these songs were standalone songs that could have been on an album.
Right.
He didn't have I don't think he had the creative control to do so with all the transitioning and all that. I think now that he's able to put it out, anyone that's a fan of him during those times can see how they could have been squoze out. Past tense of squeeze.
Okay.
Past tense of squeeze.
Squoze. Okay.
Squoze out of an actual track list.
She was squoze my dick the other night.
Check this out. I'm the listener that was referred to earlier in the show who likes Drake and Kanye. And let me just say this.
I told you he was coming to save somebody tonight.
Let me just say this. Okay. I
want to be saved.
I'm going to tell you this, all right? I know this is not a popular opinion in the hip hop, the Church of Hip Hop. But Nas, I've never liked Nas like that. I liked maybe he had a hot album.
He maybe had a hot album.
No. He had an album that I appreciated. What was the one where Diddy's on Hate Me Now? Okay, hottest ad-libs.
Okay.
You know. That was a clean album. That was a
he didn't go toe to toe with
bar
Jay-Z?
for bar.
Okay.
Go toe for toe.
He didn't go toe to toe with Jay-Z?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I think he got Jay-Z, but I liked his last album.
His
last album, the 7-tracker.
Yeah.
I liked that. It was
because
decent.
Kanye produced it. Let's be honest.
Partially,
I'd say. What if that had no Kanye production? Would you have been feeling it?
There's a lot of good Nas songs. I only really checked for one of his albums. I think he's just like J. Cole in my view.
Okay.
We can get into that, or we can save that for later. But
he's coming for Drake.
Mike came ready though.
I'm coming for him. All right. He will you know that song, I Know I Am. It's like a lullaby. It just puts me to sleep because it's so repetitive.
Right,
I feel like
right.
Nas's cadence, much like J. Cole's, is extremely repetitive. And in order to really hear the gems, you have to sift through them and really listen intently, so anything can interrupt it. Chick who likes a stroke can just and then all of a sudden you're not thinking about the lines from Nas because you got interrupted. It's just he doesn't have enough variance in his cadence to me, nor
you
is J.
saying
Cole.
listening to Nas is like doing homework, nigga?
Let me stop you right there.
A little bit.
Let me stop you right there.
After I gotta study these lines right now. What did he say?
Give me one artist you're listening to stroke phone rings that you do not interrupt the artist you're listening to pick up the stroke phone. You tell me. You're a single man. I'm a married man, so I'm stuck. But I got to hear this because you use that as the example. You can be easily distracted.
If I'm listening to Machiavelli,
you're not picking up the stroke phone.
If I'm listening to Hold Your Head,
you're lying.
Machiavelli, I might not answer that phone, bro.
You're lying. I've known you many years in this.
And the fact that Pac called out Nas.
Listen,
think he live like Pac? Talk about he got shot, left the hospital like Pac.
Took 5 like
lives in fantasies.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not gonna just disrespect that man. I don't know Nasir Jones.
Yes,
okay.
Nasir.
But I will say that you put him on, bro. I may fall asleep.
Yeah. Okay.
I may fall asleep driving.
Oh, you might. Okay.
Well,
all right.
It's not safe for you.
What you say that? What do you say to that?
Operating heavy machinery.
I actually fucked to the Machiavelli album before.
I remember you saying that.
I took that from that.
Yes.
I took that from that.
Yeah,
the whole thing. Me and my girlfriend,
And my goal was to make it through the album, and I made it.
And you made it. Yeah, you made it.
I think I finished to Against All Odds.
Wow.
That was
so many layers to that.
That's a whole nother story.
You ever wrote.
That's the realest you ever wrote.
That's the realest shit you ever stroked.
Yeah. Against
Wow.
Way back. I knew these bitch niggas from back.
What would you do if
Yes.
you was me? Come on, bro.
So, I of course, J. Cole was influenced by Nas. He has a song that's called
poor man's Nas.
He has a song called Let Nas Down. In regards to this album, and some of the statements you made about Nas, you're tripping. Nas is not boring. Nas isn't boring. Nas isn't lazy and all those type of things. So, I mean, I don't know, man. We'll talk about this later, of who you are very fond of. We'll get into that later, and maybe some of the reasons why you feel this way when it comes to Nas. And I think
we're gonna psychoanalyze.
Well, I don't think you're not a fan of some of the most lyrical rappers. Is it? Would that?
That's false. That's absolutely false.
Okay, so give me the cats that you feel are lyricists.
I mean, I'm a fan of. B.I.G. I like Biggie's music.
Okay.
I think he's a lyricist. Would you call him a lyricist?
As hip hop has progressed on, I wouldn't put lyrically. I wouldn't put Biggie in the top 10 all time.
Well,
We're talking mainstream rappers. Maybe
He's got some storytelling. He's
does.
got a lot of vivid material.
Lyrical ability. Storytelling and lyrical ability, in my opinion, two different things.
Okay, I think it's a kind of lyrical ability, but a rapper that you don't really pay much regard to, Eminem, I think he's one of the best lyricists of all time.
Yeah, Eminem's dope.
Jay-Z, I think he's a dope lyricist as well.
Okay.
Although over the years he's watered his material down to kind of his daily reality of making money and doing this and that. I think there's a lot of lyricists that I appreciate different kinds of lyricists. I appreciate, maybe it's the case that I put lyricists and sort of flow not at the same level, but close.
And that's because you listen to music to enjoy music, to bounce to the rhythm. You're not, like you said, you're not really trying to sit there and listen to cats spit. You want to more feel and enjoy the music, right?
No, not at all. I listen to the lyrics. I'm very attuned to the lyrics, and I can even forgive some rhythmic imperfections.
Rhythmic imperfections.
Yes, if I can connect, if I can connect to the lyrics, I'm absolutely attuned to lyrics.
Yeah.
But I think that if you have lyrics that are, and your cadence is just so sort of repetitious, it's so kind of like monotonous, you lose me on the lyrical ability because I can't listen to that. If you make every song sound kind of similar to me.
All right.
Like I like Cole's song where I guess the younger cats did a version of it
Yeah.
I can't think of the
That
title.
Was, I know what you're talking about. Off the head, I can't think about it right now.
And I feel like he was coming a little differently than
1985. Where he was dissing the youngsters.
That's the one.
Yeah, he was just in the little pumping them. Yeah.
Like
and,
I like.
And in 5 years, you're gonna end up on Love and Hip Hop.
Right. I like that. I like rappers who can adjust and do different things in different tracks.
All right, respect that. Pooh, you want to touch on anything before we get into this situation with ASAP Rocky?
Well,
I mean, final Nas comments.
I kind of agree with him in some aspects of that because I'm more of a fan of style over lyricism. But I like him. Well, if you got a real dope style, I respect it just as much as a dope lyricist. Like, I've been grilled for this shit. In my top 5, it's going to sound crazy as fuck, I got Old Dirty Bastard. And you will never mistake him as a lyricist.
Well, unorthodox, but lyricism. If you're listening,
if you follow the style.
Right. No, that's 100%.
But with Nas, I can understand he's monotone, in my opinion. That's why I said I was gonna lab the album in the car on the freeway so I can actually sit and listen. Because he's more of a poet to me. So
right. That's my opinion too. Yeah.
Some music I listen, like when I'm feeling up, feeling good. Maybe I want to hear some gangster shit when I'm writing. I want to hear some shit with beat that's beaten. Or if I'm like with a younger broad, I'm gonna put on some South shit because they like that bounce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if I'm really into my hip hop bag, then I'll put on some Nas, some Little Brother.
Some shit that's banging. Yeah, lyrically.
No code
the
though.
Incarnation of the Dead Poet Society.
There you go, Haile.
With rhythm.
With rhythm, huh? All right. So ASAP Rocky got into it in Sweden with a crazy fan, thrown in jail. Has been in jail for 2 weeks. Today, the president of this United States was tweeting about, helping Rocky during some little stunt in the Oval Office. I don't know, some sort of, I don't know what they call him, but presser or some shit like that. He talks about how a lot of African Americans had been calling him in regards to ASAP Rocky. They really love ASAP Rocky and they care about him. Yeah. So now he is going to interject. He's going to call, or he called Sweden supposedly. Sweden says, you didn't call us. We ain't heard from you about ASAP Rocky. So I'll start with you, Haile. Thoughts on, first of all, not so much Rocky's situation, but do we believe that Trump is even going to lift a finger to try to help him out?
I believe he will, and he is. It's a distraction from more important matters. There's black people being flooded out in the South. There are other issues going on. Yeah. That he could be addressing, serious FEMA issues. Yeah. There's been historic storms throughout all of the Midwest and Southern America. Right. And there are people being flooded out right now. Yeah. Things that he could be putting his attention and energy towards. And it's just a distraction. This is a Hegelian dialectic at its finest. Problem.
Google that.
Experience. Right? This is a problem, response, and solution. It's all Hegelian dialectic. It's a philosophy term.
Okay. Yeah, no, you definitely went over my head on that, but go ahead.
Yeah, just look up Hegel. Look up Hegel and look up philosophy.
Hegel, H-A...
H-A-G-E-L.
G-E-L. Hegel.
Hegel. The term Hegel comes from it too.
Okay.
So Hegelian dialectic is when you present the actual problem, you present the actual response, and then you present the solution.
Okay.
This is the problem, right? It's a problem for us to have an African American man incarcerated in Sweden. Right. And the reaction is, oh my God, he was abused and attacked by the people that he's arrested for actually committing a crime against. Right. And the solution now is that the white president is going to relieve him from this white nation and bring him back home. When we have real African Americans and people dying and their homes being flooded throughout the South and the Midwest. Yeah. So it's a deterrent. It's a distraction. It's a media ploy, and it's just something to make him look good during the actual upcoming Democratic debates and all its response and energy that's going into the upcoming debates on CNN.
What about you, Mr. Morse? What you think?
I agree with some of what Haile was saying. I think he is going to reach out.
Sorry. I should have said it earlier.
Oh, D-Facts. I'm sorry. D-Facts, sorry. That's the podcast name. I agree. I think that Trump will reach out to someone, whether that be he yells to his secretary to call someone or something. Yeah. I think that he wants to be in the headlines. This is the way for him to get in the headlines. I think that he likes Kanye West. He likes anyone who pretty much worships him or pays him any kind of homage. And so I see, and I think that he likes the press that he gets when he intervenes and at some level that you wouldn't otherwise expect him to do, especially as it relates to like things that Kanye and Kim Kardashian are asking him to do. I mean, pretty much the guy works off of relationships. If you do for him, and doing for him means just like pretty much
shuck and jive when it comes to some of these African Americans and people of color.
Or anyone. If you kiss the ring, then he's going to think the world of you, and he's going to do things for you. And I think that maybe this is something that could put him in the headlines, and that's why he's doing. He doesn't care about A$AP Rocky. He doesn't care about hip hop. He doesn't care about Kanye. He just cares about people who pay him, you know, what he believes.
During this whole show, he turned around and told his wife, like, "Didn't you tell me about this?" And she's standing there looking at him like, yeah, I was the one that told you about this. Like, Pooh, what do you think about this, man?
Man, I just want to say, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
Old fish, new fish, bitch.
No. To be honest with you, I can give a motherfucker about A$AP Rocky.
I feel you.
The reason why I say that is because if the quote that I was reading is true,
the Ferguson shit,
man, fuck A$AP Rocky. He's just like Kanye.
Yeah. That wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't.
You know what I mean?
People acting like that was like.
People act like kid.
People act like People act like he's been in the industry forever.
Yeah.
Like, calm down. He said it 3 years ago.
Right.
He
Basically,
said what's happening in Ferguson don't affect me. I'm about fucking bitches, making money, wearing this, you know, European clothing, and living my life. Baby, I'm rocking Gucci and Prada, and what's happening with police and niggas in motherfucking Ferguson don't affect me, is what he said when he was given the opportunity to say, "Oh, that's messed up what's going on," because he had a platform to speak on it. He dissed our community, you know what I mean? And he turned his back on them, and now you want people to ride for him, and it's like there's this whole thing on the internet where they're like, cancel Rocky, let him stay in jail, is what's going on from his comments from 3-4 years ago. You know what I mean?
So Sweden has an issue with rappers.
Yeah, you put us on this prior to the show.
Right.
Enlighten us.
Right. So now what is very interesting is I don't know how long ago this was. I think this was last year. If you guys are familiar with G-Eazy, rapper from the Bay Area. White rapper. G-Eazy, and that's why it's very important. G-Eazy socked a security guard. They got him on video snorting coke and this whole nine. They arrested him. He did 1 day in jail. Was able to pay, I think, like $10,000 in fines, $900 for the security guard. You know, in their money. Yeah, $900 in their money to the security guard, and was allowed to leave. And that was it. He got a 1 day trial, and that was it. With Rocky, he's been in there now 2 weeks. There's no trial date set. Supposedly, no one's able to see him, or whatnot. Or only, you know, something weird that he was only given like minimal visitations. So I do think it's foul that we do have two people getting treated differently. I think it's fucked up that Rocky's locked up. But again, I'm not sympathetic because you had no sympathy when it was a time for people. You needed to be sympathetic for your people. Now your ass is in jail, and now you want everybody to be to sympathize with you. So hopefully he gets out. But I'm not yelling free A$AP and all this kind of other stuff. But you know, good luck to you.
How many days? I'm sorry. How many days you say Jeezy was in?
1 day.
1 day. The only thing with that I find fishy is you do a mandatory 30 days once you're ever arrested there. And the first 30 days in Sweden is solitary confinement. Yeah. Where it looks like you're in the shoe.
Right,
no phone call, isolated. So he's going through rough conditions right now, and I understand that. But once that's over, he's able to go to this luxurious-ass prison where it's nothing like an American prison.
Right. And he was in Rikers at some point, so I imagine Rikers is worse than this little Swedish joint.
He said he was fighting in the
slipping
shower.
On sperm and shit like that. You know so you've been in tougher situations, Rocky. Again, you should be home. You definitely should, but you should also be mindful of the things that you say and wish on people. Not so much wish on people, but indirectly imply, because karma's a motherfucker.
And with Trump, he does need the black vote. He's not gonna get it all, but you know, I mean, he gotta stage some shit.
The Kanye fans will vote for him. The people who think he gets A$AP Rocky home will vote for him. So he'll get a small percentage of African American votes, unfortunately, because if you go out there and you Google black people in MAGA, they have this whole the Blexit is black. Yeah, the Blexit is black folks exiting the Democratic Party to go to Trump. So I mean, it's wild, man.
You know, some real shit. there is some positives about his ass. As much negative shit it is about him, he's hateful and all that on some business type shit. It's the positive about it. I know it's a different show. I don't want to go too deep into it, but
I'm waiting to see what the positive effects of what business he's done.
Well, what I mean by that is, like for instance,
he's been the best president economically for the U.S. I'm just saying economically. I don't agree with his policy.
No, what I'm saying is, what has he done economically? Because from my understanding, he's riding off old shit. He hasn't done any new shit.
Stuff was definitely put into place when George Bush Jr. was put in office. Things have been put in place for small business and stuff to thrive now, and those that are above the $100,000 a year salary cap, and those that are CEOs of companies, their pensions and averages, all this stuff is put into place. It actually, life insurance, medical insurance, all these companies are thriving right now at an all-time high. You could put that towards population, but I'm gonna tell you like this: under Trump, unemployment is risen. Is lowered by a lot than it was Obama. But Obama had to spend 8 years cleaning up George Bush's bullshit.
So those programs that we're mentioning, who put those programs into place?
George Bush and Obama.
Okay.
A conjunction of both parties. So with Trump,
why Trump
is appealing
done?
To the Democrats.
What has he done?
Why is he appealing to? He's just
not why he's appealing. What has he done? Because when people tell me he has been the best president for us because he's economically, what has he done? Is my question.
Well, in my opinion, from what I've been told, is on like, for instance, for small businesses, there's funding that's funneled there. So I mean, it's really friendly right now as far as getting finances for startups and shit like that.
Startups, okay.
You know what I mean? For the regular common folk, no, but for the business, then
the business, okay.
Yeah.
I think what he's done is, I think to some extent he's ridden off of the wave and the trends that were occurring when Obama left office. And I think to the extent that he has had a positive impact on the economy, I think it's kind of like a credit card. And he's spent a lot. He's run up the debt in terms of cutting.
Was it $200 trillion?
Yeah, 1.8 trillion was the cost of his. He added to the deficit in one pen stroke. Just to put that in perspective, the student loan debt is like $2 trillion total in the entire country, and so that's a huge amount of money that drove up our deficit. I mean, we could have paid off everyone's student loans essentially, so it's a lot of money. And so, in that environment where he's cutting taxes at such a dramatic level and slashing regulations that corporations would have otherwise had to deal with, from environmental regulations and so on. When you're doing that, it's just like, you go out and you buy the kids all the presents on the credit card, and you just ran up the debt. And sure, everybody's got presents for Christmas and maybe for the next few months, but that's going to come back around. So I think that what he has infused in the economy is kind of artificial in a way, and I think there is some short-term benefit to that. But I don't think that we'll see how long it lasts, and we'll see how well it does for the country ultimately. So
you take a trend curve, like any trend. This is like he said, he's riding a trend. The economy, is, as far as debt deficit, was affected severely by foreign policy by the Bush administration. Obama spent 8 years trying to repair that. Then this is the first 4 years of Trump. This is the first president in history has never had to report his finances. He still not to show us what he owes. He still not to show us how many times he's claimed bankruptcy and how faulty his paperwork is. What people dislike about him is that they dislike his charisma, they dislike his brashness and his arrogance. Don't confuse that with policy.
He's just not smart.
Don't confuse
that. Doesn't even make smart moves when it comes to policy. He does stuff that
some of the same people in his administration are influenced by people in prior administrations, heavily.
Right.
So,
and according to what I've read and heard, those people that are in his administration don't even want to be in his administration anymore. And it's like they're keeping the bad kid from getting in more trouble, is everything I'm hearing and I'm reading. So I don't make this about Trump. I mean, I definitely feel a certain way. I don't think he's going to help Rocky at all.
I'm a green card Eritrean, Ethiopian, born in Sudan.
Yeah.
And the country I was born in, what Sudan has been going through the last 8 years, we could talk about that. What I'm saying is, I could be deported at any given time. There are ICE trucks all throughout Pasadena.
Right.
I live in Pasadena, California.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say my last name on this podcast, even though I introduced myself that way.
Yeah.
But thank God I got a green card and a black baby mama from America. So I hope to marry her if they try to come for me.
Yes.
Shit's real.
Yeah.
You can't confuse charisma with policy. I'm just saying what you dislike about the man and the actual policy that's working. It's the effect of what happened prior to him. But Trump 4 more years.
Okay, I gotta speak
on
on
the
policy.
Did this nigga just say Trump
he
4
did
more
say
years?
That before he had the microphone off.
Oh man!
One of the things that Trump's Justice Department is actively trying to do right now is to strip every consumer of certain healthcare rights that were established under the Obama era with Obamacare. There's certain things that were established. Number one, Medicaid in California, which is Medi-Cal, was expanded to not just women and children, but it was expanded to people, everyone who couldn't afford healthcare. He's trying to take that away. Pre-existing conditions were deemed to be mandated, so they had to be covered. Before Obamacare, you could apply to insurance, Blue Cross, whatever, Aetna, and they'd say, oh, you have this
diabetes.
chronic disease, we're not going to insure you. They can't do that anymore. There was a suite of women's health and reproductive health that all insurance companies had to include. That's another part of Obamacare. Mental health care had to be included in. So all these things that that Obamacare had built in, his Justice Department is actively trying to eliminate. And so that's not just charisma, that's also policy. That's going to have a real impact on real people. And he's just doing it out of political spite for more than anything.
Just because he doesn't like Obama. Not what's best for the people. And I think that is his biggest thing is, again, the big baby who wants it all. If you don't like me, to you, you know what I mean? And that is not the person that we need running the country for one more day, 4 more months, or 4 more years. I don't care if I can open up a small business in 2 or 3 years. To me, he's a slimy, crooked dude. And, the sooner he's out the office, the better.
Yeah, you don't know. In my opinion, he's on his way out.
We'll see, man. This is a crazy country, man. This. I can't believe you said 4 more years. Something else I can't believe is this Iowa government official who lost his job for sending an email to people telling them to listen to Tupac over the weekend.
I salute that man.
Allegedly, there were some other emails he had sent as well. He's an old white man.
Run that back one more time.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you.
Salute.
Iowa government official, old white man, look like somebody granddaddy. You know what I mean? Look like Colonel. What's the dude? Orville Reichenbacher, and he looks like the KFC dude. Both with
on the popcorn box.
Yes, on the popcorn box.
Simon Capone's grandpa.
Yeah, Simon Capone's great granddaddy sent emails to I want to say it was something like 20,000 government employees or something, telling them to listen to Tupac this weekend.
What's the reason behind it?
He's a big Tupac fan. He loves Pac.
He would communicate with his staff members using Tupac quotes and prose. On Tupac's birthday, apparently he had some sort of office-wide celebration.
Yes.
And then I forget what the quote was. Encouraged people to change their life through his music and so on.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So when people would lie to him, he would email them. Yeah. When people would lie to him, to him, he would email them saying, and the quote would be, "You can tell the niggas you roll with whatever you want, but you and I know."
No, that's not true, D. Is that really? No, that wasn't in the article.
He's like, Susie, you said you came in at 8:15. I checked your timesheet. You came in at 8:20. You can tell the niggas you roll with whatever you want, but you and I know what's going on.
So why did he lose his job? What did he say?
Because I guess he had been warned multiple times, like, yo, man, you're sending too many Pac emails. Like, you know what I mean? You can't.
Yeah. I want everybody to know, before this show, Diami was asking us rhetorically, what was Tupac's legacy? What has he influenced?
Yes, what it meant to you.
And that question is answered right now. I don't see anybody getting fired over Biggie quotes, bruh.
Nah, it's not even about that. So to go back to what we were talking about before the show, I said simply, tell me exactly what Pac's influence outside of music, because everybody holds him up as a messiah, what his influence is. How many years later? I question the support of the people who claim that they love him within the industry, and the reason why his school in Atlanta, his foundation in Atlanta, every year struggles to make money. That was my question.
I believe it's because we don't support each other, let alone support a brother that's gone.
Right.
And I think it's now you're here, now you're gone. Right.
I agree with you.
It's right. I don't see you. I don't think about you. What is that? What's that expression?
No, out of sight, out of mind.
Out of sight, out of mind.
100% with you.
What I'm saying is, we don't have community. We don't have what it takes to keep that going. There's a brother right now named Dr. Umar who's collected all this money to build his own school
allegedly
under the guise that I'm related to Frederick Douglass and I'm a self-proclaimed scholastic and I'm going to teach your kids how to raise a strong black male in this America. But
in my opinion, Umar's robbing people, but whatever.
He did rob people.
Yes.
He has robbed people.
Yes.
And he showed them a school that was leased by another school that had been shut down years prior. Right. And he's continued to take donations.
Right.
And we live in a society where anyone could put up a fucking GoFundMe.
Right.
Right. But this school was put up in honor of him by his mother.
Right.
Let's not forget that his mother was killed the same year Prince was killed.
Agree.
And that all has to do with
that ties in.
That all has to tie in, brother.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. And it has to do. There's a reason why she's not here with us anymore. I don't want to get into conspiracy nigga Jones shit.
Okay.
But it's really out there. And we can. That's another two. I need a Sunday with you on that.
Okay, we'll come back on a Sunday, and we'll talk about. Well, first of all, rest in peace to Afeni Shakur. But we'll talk about what you might have happened and caused your demise.
Is this man's love for Pac genuine? Should I be offended? Should
I
be offended by this white man sending me this email, constantly reminding me?
Wait, so let's stay on the point. Yeah, let's stay on the point. I didn't think about that.
This is some racial dolezal shit, nigga. Racial dolezal infiltrated the NCAACP, raised black kids, said she was black, she wore braids.
Yes.
Right, she dyed her skin.
Yeah, now she's bisexual.
She dyed her skin.
Yeah.
She disowned her family.
Right.
She clearly had psychological issues.
And she was fooling a whole bunch of people.
So this is a form of body dysphoria. This is a form of hating yourself so much that you want to appropriate something to feel comfortable about yourself.
So you think this man thinks you think this man thinks he's a black man and wants to identify?
This is a man who comes from slave owners, who feels guilty of his past, and has vowed to himself that every day of his life he's gonna make black people feel comfortable by making them feel overly uncomfortable. Yes. That's what we're dealing with.
So let me ask you, Mike. You are a corporate, well, not corporate, but you're a corporate dude. You work for a municipality, corporation, whatever. If your boss was constantly congratulating you, like let's say you had a trial didn't go your way, and you come back to your desk and you get a hey Mike, keep your head up. You look a little frustrated. You come in, he's playing it in the office. Like, Mike, this one's for you. Ooh, Joey. Like, what are you gonna do?
Smile for me now.
If he were doing it office wide, sounds like he was doing it for everyone and to everyone.
Yeah, mass email.
Yeah, if it was just the blacklist.
This is on government server though.
Right, of course.
Right.
In order to send that many
he's hitting up like everybody who works in the water department to people who are writing parking tickets. Like, come on now.
Right. No, I recognize there's a little bit of an uneasiness with that dynamic, but I would allow. I mean, I think it's fine for people who appreciate, Pac or any kind of music to appreciate it. I want to get back to Pac's influence, though.
That's not the
No.
Oh, that's not it?
The topic is, will you not let your bias tell you, I feel uncomfortable with this man trying too hard to make me feel comfortable?
Like, if at the work Pac look, if he brought non-alcoholic Thug Passion, how would you feel?
No Alizé?
No Alizé.
I would feel a way about it, but I'd understand. Because Pac is the greatest rapper of all time.
Him a pass.
Yes, because it's Pac. Now, if he's pushing Nas on me that hard, or anyone, or J. Cole, I'm not gonna do that.
You quitting on the spot?
I'm quitting right on the spot because there's no justification for that.
Shit. Just walk out.
I'm going straight to HR on him.
You're doing the Jerry Maguire. Who's coming with me? And he's walking the fuck out the building.
Who's coming to HR with me?
Man, Pooh, any closing thoughts on this crazy shit with this old man?
I just can't believe that he lost his job. It must have been some, was it profanity in his email?
I don't think it's profanity. Again, I think it's what Haile touched on. As a person of color, you probably felt uncomfortable that this old white dude kept sending the.
Is it niggas in Iowa though?
I'm pretty sure there is. I'm pretty sure there
It's
is.
just not the most professional thing, I think.
Yeah, I think that too. But also, again, I don't. So if I work in your same office, we know Bob.
Yeah.
But again, if I'm writing tickets, and I don't know what he did, but this went to a mass email. But if I don't know Bob personally, I'm like, does Bob think this is funny?
I mean, I get it, because in this day and age, we're in a fucking a hypersensitive day and time. Anything you like, be honest with you, with this black and white relations and how that shit goes, sometimes I think this shit kind of goes a little too far. It goes a little too far.
Right.
Everybody
on both sides.
So 3 niggas to say we feel uncomfortable to shut this whole thing down. I'm gonna let you know it was Sharonda, Jerome, and Taiwan.
Sharonda, Jerome, and Taiwan.
And it wasn't even in the same district. It was one nigga from Water and Power. It was one nigga from Parks and Recreation. Right? And it was one girl from Traffic. And they all got together and they got this nigga out of there, bro, because of SJW, the social justice warriors. We feel wrong. I feel uncomfortable. He's too comfortable sending me this email.
Yeah.
What does he think? Did I listen to this? Yeah. And maybe people, I love what you said. Are there niggas in Iowa?
Yes.
And if they are, they're people that are a little older, that live in Iowa, that can sustain life in Iowa, and that can manage life in Iowa. They're not from Iowa. They're people who live there to work there. They're most likely transplants. So when you're a transplant, you're most likely...
I've never heard a nigga say, man, I'm going to get my shit together and go to Iowa. There's all kinds of other options.
I moved to Iowa because I got a promotion. Because I had family.
They're probably from Chicago.
It's most likely for affordable housing.
Yeah, it could be.
It's most likely for affordable housing.
Moving from big cities,
And what I'm saying is those people, they don't have no time for no bullshit. And it just took them feeling uncomfortable, and they got something done because they took action. Could that now, if there was a black man sending rock verses... in that same state to that many, it would not have gotten that many attention.
Of course not.
It would not have gotten that attention. It's because it's Tupac.
Yeah.
It's because it's those songs with those lyrics.
Yeah.
And I feel a little bit of a kindred spirit to this gentleman, because every year on Tupac's birthday and anniversary of his assassination, I said assassination. That's what you say when someone important is. Yeah, that's the level. I make it a point because there's police officers where I work a lot, and I'll ask them, well, it's Tupac's birthday. It's Tupac's. What have you done to solve Tupac's death? What have you done to solve his murder? And that's your segue for that other topic.
Yeah, the perfect segue, man. The code over here segued perfectly. So, Glasses Malone, LA rap artist, has released a song and a video. Go see the video right now on YouTube. Just type in Glasses Malone. Tupac Must Die. So, yes, song is causing a lot of controversy. It is told from the eyes of Tupac's killer, and is basically taking you from the moment that the original altercation happened when the young man was jumped to Tupac's demise. So I'm gonna start off with Super Pac fan right here in the middle.
That's right,
Mr. Because you've been waiting to talk about this. Ooh. Your thoughts on hearing and then seeing, because we heard and both saw. Your thoughts on hearing and seeing this. What are your thoughts?
First of all, from an artistic perspective, there's a certain level of appreciation, I think, that I felt in watching. I felt a lot of ways in watching that video.
Was it his feelings?
I felt a way, a lot of ways.
Carl Thomas.
The first way I thought was, wow, this is an interesting artistic sort of presentation or representation of an event that we kind of feel a certain way about. You know,
Attached.
that is, it's focused on Tupac, focused on that tragedy and so on. And I thought artistically, he refocused it to, you know, in focusing on what is alleged to be Tupac's killer, Orlando Anderson, he focused it on not just that person, but that time and that era and that mentality of being a young man in that era, in that life, where respect is everything, and really your life is as big as your name and your reputation. And you may do something that impacts, in this case, every, people around the world. You've taken away what they think is an icon, a superstar, a legend. That's what I think. And you did that for this one moment in time and one feeling that to you is the world. And I think that's a microcosm. That's a metaphor to say, like, those types of things were happening in bigger numbers at that time, still happening. In reality, what's happening in that scenario is you're usually taking away your entire life. You're taking away somebody's life, somebody who dies, and you're also taking away your life and taking away your life from your family. You know what I mean? So it's like that focusing on the moment how something so small can be so big to someone, to where they respond in a way that just has such cascading negative effects. Like I think that was one of the themes that I got from, because it was from his perspective, and I thought that was artistically interesting, that it's such a narrow view in a way. Right.
Well, I mean, sometimes when you live that lifestyle, it is a narrow view.
And I thought that the camera, the POV, the point of view, it drove that point home, that it's such a narrow view. Now, in terms of it being disrespectful to his legacy and everything else, I'm just going to start off with the neutral stuff before I go hard in the yard. Super fan.
Oh, okay.
There's more neutral stuff.
There's more, right?
The other neutral stuff is Tupac was the type of cat to call out your sickle cell anemia. He's talking about, I'll have sex with your wife. Not in those words, but I want to see you deceased. That's how he used to talk. I love Billy. That's how he used to talk. And so he was a guy who would say whatever to whoever if he didn't like them. So in a way, it's like maybe Pac's like, okay, I would have done that. I don't think he would have. But so those are the things. But the other part of it is I'm just like, bro, that's Tupac, bro. You can't do that. You can't make a video or a song called Tupac Must Die. Like that ain't right, D.
But on what level is it not right? Like the song, the only bar I feel is a tad disrespectful is where he says you're supposed to be a Panther, but you bang a Pyru or whatever.
I didn't see that.
And I could see the stands feeling I can see the stands feeling disrespected by that. It's the truth, but I can see where people have issue with that. I don't see the disrespect personally in what they're doing, and I'll bring this point up. How many times have you sat down and watched some shit on Ted Bundy or Charles Manson or one of these other serial killers?
Netflix just did a movie, and they glorified Ted Bundy, and they made the new generation, these new millennium women, looking at the new Ted Bundy, and they fell in love with this new persona because they told the story through his eyes. And what we've never heard was the story through Orlando's eyes. Right. And it took somebody from his neighborhood to tell you what it must have felt like to go to a casino and be punked, and be jacked, and be beat up by an enemy from from a rival city next to your city, and someone that's running with that city with that influence, and then going to the club and then seeing someone else from your neighborhood, an older homie that was not there while you were jumped, and saying, let's go get this nigga, and then being influenced to go retaliate because your pride and your ego is being put into question. And that's a dynamic that every young brother has to go through. If you grew up gangbanging, me having a single mother, being an immigrant, I always had to be harder than I thought I was and pretend that I was tougher than I thought I was, even though I was who I was and I spoke 6 languages and I thought I was this smart. I had to dumb myself down and react to shit ignorant so I could show to my fellow, rider that I was down, right? But this guy was really from the turf, and and people don't understand that when you really from a gang, it's really put upon you to react when somebody does something. And you could question the kicks on the ground. You could question whether he was really severely beat up. The fact of the matter is his pride and his ego was affected.
Exactly.
And he was challenged by people who older than him from his neighborhood to go retaliate. And that pressure, like that first peer pressure when I was told to go do something to somebody from a rival neighborhood, or when I was first told to go do something against somebody from a different set, that pressure you feel, it's like a fire or a pain that washes over you. Like, what if they find out that I'm not as tough as I really think that I am, or what if they find out that I'm not who I told them that I was? That fear will motivate you to put your life on the line. And what that young man may have done or may not have done, because he's never been arrested for the crime, and he did die shortly after, we will never know. We just have somebody giving us an artistic expression of what he may have been going through that night. And for that reason, I like it. I like it because I know Glasses. I met him through Mike Stroh. I used to do music with Mike Stroh, who Battle Cat's little brother, and they had a group together.
Shout out to Q.
And my boy Glasses was signed to Black Wall Street before anyone else had the division. He had the Crip division to Black Wall Street before that was going to pop off. And Glasses kind of got lost in the shuffle, and he's very underrated as a rapper. And if you listen to the lyrics,
he signed to Cash Money or?
Man, he was signed. He was first signed to the game, then Cash Money. And if you really listen to his lyrics, it just shows his development over the years in storytelling and his ability to bring the kind of rap that we talked about.
I think the song is dope.
Why we like Nas and all that.
Yeah,
it's a reincarnation of that.
Yeah, no, I think the song is
an effect
dope.
of that.
Yeah,
and I am a Tupac lover who understands why this story needed to be told by him. He felt I need to do this before I can no longer have an influence.
Yeah,
and he had to get it out while he could.
Yeah,
the timing is questionable. The birthdays, when is the birthday? Just passed. last month. When was the video released?
Just a couple days ago. So you waited a month.
And then we have 2 more months to the actual death. Yeah. September, right?
I'm not a big Pac.
Yeah, the death was in September.
So, right.
So the timing is in between the birth and the death. Everything is strategic, right down to the white Cadillac being in the video.
Yeah, well, I mean, he retold the story.
Whoever did the cinematics, it was pretty cool on the budget that they did it on. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I think there's an element of what Fax touched on, which is he maybe had to do something before he felt like he wasn't relevant. Like, I don't like it. Had a feeling of like you didn't. I guess he was a Crip, Glasses Malone or what have you, but he was a Crip, or he is. I don't know if he's active.
The only one that was is the brother that's dead.
Okay, but like, is this a little bit about getting attention or about doing something novel?
I don't think so.
I think more so about his homie.
I think
they from different hoods though.
Yeah, so I think there's a story to be told, and I think
it feels a little attention getter to me.
Well, I mean,
because you're not associated with that.
Why? Because it's Tupac.
If you knew Orlando Anderson, or if you knew somebody in that realm, like, why are you telling the story?
Why do you have to be close to tell that story? Maybe, I don't know, but Pooh.
They're from different sets in the same city, so I don't know what Pooh would like to say on that. Well, Pooh being from that area, I think he has the right to.
Well, first of all, I've been knowing who Baby Lane was since 5 years before Pac died. I mean, he was a writer in high school, so he was certified, known in the streets, city of Compton. Glasses is from 7th Street Watts, so he's actually from a different city. I mean, so it's kind of like, I don't know. I got a lot of different takes on this shit too, from different angles. Number one, I can understand why Tupac fans are a little offended, because it's the passion, the love for Tupac is major in the streets. I like Tupac too, but I'm not a stan. You feel me? I just like the music. Being a nigga from Compton, I grew up hating everything off of Laundry. So Baby Lane, Keefy D, all them niggas in my older days, they all suck a dick. That's just the way I feel.
Right.
On the flip side of the coin, Suge Knight, Tupac, and all them niggas from the mob was enemies too, so they can all suck a dick. Straight up. That's just the way I feel. But on some artistic shit, Glasses, I like that POV way he did it. I don't know if the song was interesting enough for me to actually listen to the shit without the visuals, because the visuals were strong, clever as fuck. I give them all the credit in the world. To take it a little bit deeper, they were offered money to kill Pac before this shit happened. So by Pac getting in some shit on some street shit, it just put a higher price tag on his head. It gave him more motivation to take his life. You know what I mean? Keefy D basically got immunity for giving up the whole story. He says that Puffy offered him $1 million to kill Suge and Pac. And then so it's kind of like, y'all get the opportunity to do it, you might as well do it. Y'all killers. His uncle's from the hood. He's an OG, well known, knows Puff, all of them, because he know niggas in Harlem. Your uncle tell you to smoke the nigga. He said himself, if he was in the back seat in that spot, he would have did it himself, because the money was there. It was also said that after it was done, they went to collect on the money, and Puff kind of dodged them, and the story kind of gets dimmed from there. So I think coming from a street perspective, Tupac must die. I agree.
Right.
If you on some gang banging shit, he was supposed to die. But not just Tupac, every nigga that was there.
Right.
That's just the code. You can't go back home and say this little ass nigga Tupac fucking stomped me out. He gonna lose his street stripes. You know what I mean? Niggas ain't gonna respect it.
Can I say something on the stomping?
Yeah.
It was a phantom stomping. First off, the nigga had no scars. He was not bleeding profusely. 4 or 5 people kicked him on the ground on camera, but all the kicks never connected. If you look at the video, they're called phantom kicks, where, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, phantom kicks, like a straight WWF wrestler. We're gonna go WWF.
Yeah, right.
WWF, Sergeant Slaughter kicks, homie. Right? They look like the Iron Sheik was kicking you with the little curl on the boot. Nigga, the Iron Sheik. What was the other nigga's name? Saddam, the fake Saddam?
You talking about Nikolai Volkov?
No, there was the Iron Sheik, and then there was the fake Saddam with the curl on his boot.
Them niggas had on Stacey Adams. I know them points hurt.
Yeah,
they had to hurt.
Yeah, but if I hit you with
had the curl.
If I'm hitting you with the curl, am I hitting you with the whole boot?
Right. No, you're not.
Right? I'm just making sure that the curl connects.
Well, regardless of
what I'm saying is,
if you get air stomps,
he got up with nothing on his.
Dealt with.
But he
Doesn't matter.
Okay, he got up with no scars and no blood.
Doesn't matter.
Remind you the Keefy D thing. Puffy hired Keefy D to handle something the same night. There's a whole other corroborating story that says that Lil Half Dead had already had a beef with Pac for stealing his songs.
That's okay. Yeah, we've heard that
and
before.
So there was another car on the other side of the car.
Right.
And in this video by Glasses Malone, it shows the white Cadillac and also the alternating car on the other side, which is confused to being the girls that they were hollering at on the other side, but it did not show that there were women in the car in the video. The video is more telling than you actually think. It's kind of relieving.
You got to watch it a couple times.
The video is telling you that Orlando was innocent. That it may have perceived. I think the way I saw it was that Orlando was innocent. It looks like he retaliated when he may not have.
But the video
But what was I supposed to do if I did?
The
Can you blame me?
Does reference.
Can you blame me?
Women who are potential witnesses. I did catch that. In the song, he says, "Oh, I think these girls may have seen us, but it doesn't matter. We're too deep in this." No, but at the moment when the killer's car pulls up beside Pac's car, the lyric is, "Yeah, they may have seen us, but whatever. We're too deep in it." And the other thing I'll say, I agree with Pooh on this. It's I listened to the song before coming here, and it really didn't catch me. You know, when we talk about the idea of this being a throwback from the Nas era, or the lyrical era. It really wasn't very lyrical in that sense.
No, not at all.
I shouldn't say. I don't want to say lyrical. It wasn't.
Different levels.
That's the West Coast mode to do that. First off, don't dismiss that Glasses is awesome art. He's an awesome lyricist.
I'm just saying the song didn't catch me. I didn't catch the story and the nuances until I saw the video. And like you said, Fax, the video, the visuals.
You don't keep using the nickname I didn't choose myself. I couldn't use my government.
I wasn't listening. I was thinking about my name. I was thinking about what name I was gonna use.
How you assign a nigga a nickname he don't want and just continue to run with it?
I came up with a nickname. I introduced myself as D. Haile. I thought it helped. That was one of your former artists, nigga. You're the original Suge Knight in my life, nigga.
Oh, so, damn.
And we gonna really talk about.
Let's talk about it, because I don't own no.
Yeah, we need to talk about that
records or nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought you was the nigga that named me D. Haile before my mama did. And it's my government name. Tell me the name.
Hey, I don't know, man. Hey.
That's not a little person.
Hey, as long as ain't no Diami Gotta Die records, we cool. We cool.
And I think it's a reference to Romeo Must Die. Let's think about that movie and why Jet Li had to die. And why it was called Romeo Must Die. It's a tie-in. Something must happen for a desired result.
Okay.
That's the other thing that caught me as an attention getter. Not to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Tupac Must Die. That's an attention getter title. You know what I mean?
Well,
he didn't name it like Orlando Story or like from my perspective.
Well,
it would have been a little more subtle.
I think that's the marketing, and that's also the mentality. You've jumped me, you've embarrassed me, regardless if they phantom kicks or whatnot. I've been disrespected.
Okay, that's an allusion to the theme of the song.
So you have to die, and that's how real it is in the street. And I said this about Pac. I said this about 6ix9ine. They are from that same cloth where they got in something bigger than them, something they didn't really understand, and trusted the wrong people. And that's why, unfortunately, he ended up dying. Pooh, before we wrap this up, go ahead and finish up your thought, man.
I think it was it's magnified because of the how the fuck can I say it? The geography of the two neighborhoods. Like literally, the two gangs are less than 2 miles apart in the same city. So it's like.
But when you said earlier, you kind of offended me when I said them niggas was from the same city but a different set.
Yeah.
All I meant was the east side of LA, but same Crip gangs. LA, it's the same Crip card in LA, and when you go to the pen and all that, it's the same Crip card. But they are from different actual municipalities. If you say Watts has their own, right? You want to say Watts has their own city council, Compton has their own city council. But to us niggas in Pasadena who have their own court system and fire department and police department, we gonna say all you niggas is from the same city because 1 mile in Pasadena, you still in Pasadena. 3 miles in Pasadena, you still in Pasadena. 7 miles in Pasadena, you still in Pasadena. So when I hear LA niggas say that shit, it only affects me because I have to have somebody that lived there. And like when you say any nigga off Alondra, fuck them niggas. Because you live that shit. And I know how you grew up. You really live that shit. With any nigga that the way y'all hoods are so dissected, the enemy can be 1 block, 2 block, 3 blocks away. And in Pasadena, the Crips is way all the way up in the mountains. You know what I mean? So I think
they in the mountains.
I think yeah, they all the way up. Way up there.
So how did I offend you? Because
you didn't offend me. That was my ego.
Oh, okay.
just wanted to say all that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was listening for that. Like I haven't heard the
I
explanation.
couldn't tie it in. Go ahead.
Okay, so
I couldn't tie it in.
you know what? I can go a little bit deeper on what he said.
No,
though.
go deeper. That's what we're here to do.
You talking about is real life and death.
This is an honest conversation about hip hop.
And on your way to school, the shit you told me you went through on your way to school.
I mean, straight up, if you from Compton, then you know all the Pyros is off Rosecrans, all the Crips is off Alondra. So one Pyro hood on Alondra, Holly hood, one Crip hood on Rosecrans, Santana block. So it's the division. What I was gonna say?
Feels because Jules Santana, isn't he a blood?
He's from New York.
Man,
I'm
Mike,
so
if
confused.
you don't,
I'm confused.
don't do that.
I confused with the red rag.
Yes,
Sorry.
don't do that.
Rest in peace, Fo Bent. He said on the track before he died, "How the fuck you a Damu and you got a last name Santana?" Some shit.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
been called out in rap.
Right.
But anyway, to get back to what Haile was saying, when you go to the pen, the card is Hub and the Dub, Watts and Compton together. So I can give you that straight up.
Yeah.
But man, I'm telling you, just growing up there and have a father who come from the street life too. This bloodshed between those hoods before Tupac even came to the West Coast after getting out the pen. So it just magnified the shit. Like Keefy D knew Suge Knight from childhood. Like it's like Compton is so fucking small, you know everybody.
Yeah.
But to get back to the shit, I mean, if it was in reverse, if that was Tupac got stomped in the casino, the mob niggas would have did a drive-by on the South Side niggas on the strip. Same
Right,
shit. That's
same
just
shit.
That's the lifestyle that niggas live. The video, if I was a diehard Pac fan, I might feel some type of way just because it's like your idol, so to speak. You see him depicted getting killed. But I thought the shit was clever as hell. Glasses, he did it for shock value. He could say what he want to say, but I went to his page when this shit dropped, and niggas was disrespecting him. You know what I mean? Calling him the C word. I ain't gonna disrespect all the fans saying the word, but you know what I mean? And he was on there like, okay, you know what I mean? He was, and then on one of his comments, he said he expected more. The shit is light, so that tells you, you know what I mean?
He was ready.
He was ready for it. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? I think it was part shock value, and also think about it like this: if you get that light bulb in your head, like, oh shit, I can do a shit from Orlando's perspective. The thing you're gonna do is, I need to move on this shit fast before somebody else does it. Even if they're not thinking it in your mind, you're thinking, I need to hurry the fuck up. So, it is a great idea. Yeah.
And again, I don't get the outrage. We sit back and watch hella stories about people killing, and there's a fucking genre of rap called horrorcore, where they talk about killing people and stabbing their mamas and multiple murders and shit like that. I understand it's Tupac, and people treat Pac a certain way and hold him to a certain high regard, and there's just some things you can't say about Pac.
He was a gang bang groupie, though. I've said that before on the show.
Man, we've said that, and again, it's hard to say no disrespect after you say that, but that is a fact.
What? Was he?
He's a gang bang groupie. You can hear the niggas from over there say how he changed.
Oh,
he automatically he went and got like, for instance, this is what I fucking hate. This is what I always hate about Pac.
I forget how he adopted them Oakland niggas when he wasn't really banging them.
When before Pac died, when he came to death row, he started saying MOB this, MOB that, and everybody nationwide starts MOB, money over bitches.
Mm-hmm.
But where I'm from, money over bitches, mob, Paru, it's a gang. It started out as money only blood. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We call them monkeys on bikes, mustard on bread. You know what I'm saying? That's what we used to call them.
That's what we used to call
Well, and I think that so Pac was I agree with what Pooh's saying. I agree that he just kind of he was a chameleon at some level. Yeah, and
Go ahead, man.
and
There's two gangsters talking, having a gang
just
conversation.
having a
Stay your ass
gang
out of
truce,
it.
having a gang truce,
keep
Pasadena,
going.
LA gang truce.
Go ahead.
You guys are supposed to be in the same gang, though. I thought.
Yeah, that's a whole
okay.
other conversation. Yeah, go ahead.
And I think that's the thing about Tupac was, in terms of to get back to his influence.
Why are we still on this influence?
No, because this is relevant to what you're saying about him being a gangbang groupie. What he showed was he came out as listen, as a young black male, especially a young black male who grows up in a certain economic sort of environment, you're kind of painted as two-dimensional.
Okay.
You can only have one response to certain things.
Right.
You have to be this or that. You can't be both.
Right.
And we live in a world where that, you know, if you want to get into sociological things like white privilege and stuff, one of the white privileges is being able to wear any hat you want. You can be hip hop Jimmy the next day, and you can be corporate Jimmy. You can do whatever you want. But for black males, especially growing up in a certain environment, you can only be kind of one thing. And I think Tupac introduced this sort of idea that you could be thoughtful, you could be emotional, you could also be vengeful, you could also be angry, you could also be political, you could also be revolutionary, you could also be like just wanting to talk to girls. You could be a fully formed three-dimensional person as a young black male. And I think that's who he was, and that's why he gravitated towards the you know, first he was in a performing arts school, and then he went to Oakland, he became this, and he digital underground. Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of different.
You can't be too many things.
He was a Gemini, and you know, to put it in astrological terms, or
Who's Janus?
But what I'm saying is, like, he introduced that ability to be different things to different people, and that's why people gravitated towards him. And it was reflected in his music. It's different types of music. He had Keep Your Head Up, and then he had, like, you know, Wonder Why I Call You, whatever, and then he had Dear Mama, and then he had California Love, and then Hit 'Em Up. He had so many things across the board. He was so three-dimensional. He was a fully formed person, and he made it okay for people, and that reverberated and cascaded not just through music that subsequently came out, but through the culture and through people who can sit there back and they say, oh, I can be this way or that way. And so he was a chameleon, and he did latch on to Suge and to Death Row because that's how he felt in that moment, and you know, that's kind of who he was, and that was a quality that he had, I think, that people have that's what drew people to him.
Cool. You want to wrap up this this Pac conversation?
It can keep going, you know. I got to calm down a little bit, but anyway.
Everything.
No, man. When you the Pac, well, going back to the video, I think it was a clever idea. I give him that. You know,
it comes off clickbaity, right?
Yeah.
The title, I think the title comes off clickbaity, and then he had in parentheses Orlando Jones. He had Orlando what?
Anderson.
Yeah.
Orlando Anderson. Sorry, my nigga. Rest in peace. He had that in parentheses, but the main title is clickbaity. But it's for marketing value, and I think the timing of life and death, the death being in the next coming month, and the life being in the last month. We're in July.
Drop it in the middle. Yeah.
So I think it's all mathematical.
I mean,
it's not no dummy.
In my opinion, you could have dropped the song any day, any hour, and because of what Pac means to so many people, the good, the bad, the ugly, it was going to be something that people were going to watch or listen to and watch, and they've done so. Again, I think it's a dope song. In my opinion, I think the video is dope too, you know, that's my opinion, but I'm going to go back to you, Pooh.
I'm going to tell you what really stung people a little bit, and he knew it. It's the fact that a Crip made it. That's the politics of this shit. A Crip made the song. So it's kind of like if like say the Game did it, it would have hit different. It would have landed a little bit different. But, you know, it's just, you know what I mean, by a Crip nigga making the video.
Do you think it's a slap in the face to all the Bloods that are still out there as far as, like, I'm going to make this song, being that we took out technically one of your... I mean, because if you think about it, what if your average Crip rapper, not saying that Glasses is, but I'm going to say just what if a Crip rapper tomorrow dropped a track, and not saying they're not out there, but I haven't heard one in a minute, detailing how they rolled up and just smoked the blood. Is that going to be well received right now, especially with the whole climate that we're supposed to be united because Nipsey is passed, even though in the streets we know that's not happening. But yeah, everybody believes that there is this truce. So do you feel that maybe that's another reason it's striking people's feelings? It's like, yo, is this the time?
The niggas that's commenting on the thing, like Pooh said, them niggas ain't real motherfucking Crips. It's poser ass hip hop fans.
Yeah,
I love what you said, Pooh. He was prepared for it, so made you believe that he had put a lot of thought into it prior and was prepared for it.
Yeah, I mean, even when I seen the people online that was disrespecting the Crips, I'm looking at them like, oh, this nigga live in Iowa. He must be related to the motherfucking senator or whoever the fuck that was. They wasn't West Coast like
the senator was on the page banging.
It wasn't people with their face on their profile for their YouTube comment.
I think he expected for the Damu community on the West Coast to say something, and nobody did.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think people this day and age are smart enough to see what it was once they got out their feelings.
Once they got the feelings,
you know what I mean?
Time has passed.
Like I said, it was clever. It's a lot of levels to this shit. I can keep going on all night about this shit, but I respected this shit. The only shit that I don't really like is just because of the I don't know fucking word to use. The shit. Not negative. The ignorant me.
Yeah.
I don't like how braggadocious the South Side niggas are. You know what I mean? It's like now everybody's on camera. They talking like this, that, and this, and that because it's a different day and age.
Right.
But in my eyes, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like to me, I don't know. This shit just rubs me the wrong way.
Right.
Just because you know, nigga, when you grow up with hatred in your heart, it's kind of hard to get over it.
Yeah.
It's kind of sort of like
never goes away.
I had a G nigga tell me this shit. Let's just say there's a gang truce.
Right.
And we're good.
Yeah.
Or no, hold on. Let me take that back. Let's say there is no gang truce.
Right.
But the streets is quiet.
Right.
Don't go over there trying to start a gang truce because you're gonna ignite the shit and make the shit. You're gonna make the beef start over.
Right.
Because once you do that shit, then niggas gonna be thinking like
it brings up old memories, right?
It's out of sight, out of mind. Yeah. You know what I mean? I could be living my life, but by you saying that shit, they could be like, no, but them niggas killed my little brother.
Right.
Fuck them niggas, and it just sparks the whole shit. And then, my cousin, this nigga's doing 100 years for the hood, so we just gonna truce it up with these niggas now. So it's kind of let a sleeping dog lie. That's why I kind of feel like I don't know how the mob niggas feel, but it's kind of like I would think they would feel something about it because it's
you know what? In my opinion, and I'll let you close the show out, Haile, but in my opinion, I don't think they give a fuck. Yeah. Because Pac wasn't really he wasn't really from the hood. It happens.
I don't think Glasses would have made the song if Suge was on the street. I don't think that.
That might be different.
But I just want to say this. I don't want to close this part.
Okay.
It should be closed by you or him.
All right, go ahead.
The Santana, the Jules Santana, it comes out of a joke from him, right? It's rooted in fact. What did you say the lyric was? How a nigga named Santana gonna be from Pyru?
Yeah.
Because why? This is Santana Block Compton, man.
Yeah.
Santana Block Compton crib. You know what I'm saying? It's not because of no Mexican shit, not no race shit. There's a real Santana Block Compton crib. I'm just saying, there's a real Santana.
He was trying to educate the least gangster nigga in the room. That's what he was doing.
So a nigga from Santana Block Compton crib is not gonna claim Pyru, definitely, right? But then you have this Puerto Rican and black dude from New York claiming Pyru or blood because there's a New York adaptation to LA street gangs, as just how we took Black Pete Stones from Chicago and Illinois. You feel me? From the Damu here at the table, or former Damu, shall I say?
This is former
for
Damu.
My job, in case I have to show up on Monday. But what I'm saying is, you know, come on, dog. There's fucking Grape Street in New York. There's all kind of gangs in New York that are all in LA. You know what I mean? That somebody took there and made and fortified there, and that are people getting killed and dying at a rate that was being affected here in the 90s now in New York. And that's how we have a nigga named 6ix9ine with Rainbow Head. You feel me? That's because of
Skull Gang.
So on that note, I just think that, and I'll end here as far as what I have to say about this.
Right.
If that were a video where Biggie were depicted as being murdered, I would feel a way about it as well, just because it's not a bias. I mean, there is a little bit of bias because I like Pac obviously more than I like Biggie, but at the same time, they're legends, and they're at the end of the day, they're people. They're human beings who were murdered, and I can't get behind something that kind of glorifies. Yeah. And I shouldn't say that. I listen to all kinds of music. You may say glorifies it, you know, but glorify an actual event where somebody was actually murdered, and they're actually gone. Like Tupac was a person who we sit around and talk about, and he's a figure and so on. But he was 25. Yeah, he was. He was a kid,
young man,
and he's gone. And I know no one will want to go out that way. No matter what stupid thing they do, they kick somebody and beat somebody down. And to that point, I think Pac even knew that he was kind of in the wrong life, because they're whispers that he was trying to get out of that. But bottom line is that I think that's the part that I'm just like, it's a great artistic sort of novelty, but at the same time it's a murder, and he's gone, and I would feel the way about Biggie or whoever else.
The murder was never solved.
Yeah.
Orlando was also killed.
Right.
So I know the guy who prosecuted Orlando's murder.
All right, let's end on that real quick. So you know the guy that prosecuted?
Yeah, a really good friend of mine. He prosecuted the murder that happened at the car wash.
Uh-huh.
And as a sort of part of that case, they had to consider whether or not this was retaliation for Tupac's murder and so on. So it caused him to be involved in and privy to and actively, discovering information about the Tupac investigation and murder. And apparently, when Orlando's murder occurred, LAPD and Las Vegas Metropolitan closed the case on Tupac's murder because they're so convinced that Orlando Morse did it.
Right.
And hey, no matter what, I mean, that's true. I mean, Orlando Anderson didn't deserve to die necessarily. You know what I mean? I mean, nobody should die that way. And that whole era was just kind of a tough to stomach for the culture and for people and for, just a time where people were just getting murdered indiscriminately. You know what I mean? So that's just, there's a lot of ways to feel about that kind of thing. Even though it has its own artistic value and so on,
Yeah. Man, we discussed a lot tonight. I want to thank you, brothers, for coming out and, as always, having an honest conversation about hip-hop with me. Before we close up shop, is there anything you guys want to say before we get out of here? No.
I just want to tell you thank you. This is my first time on.
And I want to have you on
awesome
many
experience.
more times. Thank you.
I miss Simon Capone.
Yeah, he'll be
hope
back.
He come home. We talking about the nigga like he gone.
Yeah.
He ain't locked up.
He ain't locked up. He just had to go handle some
He had to cut off his ponytail. He's back, though. The nigga got a fade.
He ain't never had a he had a ponytail.
I remember when he had a ponytail. Nigga, what the fuck you mean? You had a ponytail when I met you, nigga.
I never had a ponytail.
way back, nigga. I know your
daddy.
Never.
No, you do know my daddy, but I
met
never
Mr. Maragna.
Yeah, I never had a ponytail.
You know when the nigga act like he know you, but he can't pronounce your last name right?
Yeah,
I know Mr. Maragna.
Right.
Is the G silent?
Oh, man.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Hey, anytime, man. We can't wait to have you back.
We working on a new song, Not For Nothing.
Okay.
Hey, it's fire. We'd
All
like
right.
you to take management in full position. I don't feel right doing a song without Suge back in my life.
No, here we go.
Get got, nigga. I don't want to get got.
I'm actually, you know what, on some real shit, I'm actually considering doing something with y'all whenever y'all pull it together. It's been a while since I've been in created music. And I definitely want to go into it. It's just got to be the right subject matter. I can't be talking about shoot niggas and stuff like that. It's
that's
over.
what this song is about. It's all positive.
Okay.
And I think, it's been in your email and in your queue for months. And
I don't think he's even listened to it, bro.
No,
Either he's listened to it or he's silenced us.
No, performing it tonight.
The first time you sent it to me.
You didn't even respond to that one. We're like, oh, you should perform it.
Messenger right now.
Yeah.
You actually gave me a thumbs up and haven't listened to it yet.
First of all, I didn't do that. You sent it through Messenger.
When a nigga like your message and he hasn't even...
That's a lie.
He gave me a blue thumb, my nigga. I saw the blue thumb, bro.
Hey,
let it slide, man. I love you, Deion.
When you go back and a nigga like
Flavors.
7 posts in a minute span, he ain't paid attention to none of that.
Nah, that's real talk. That's real
business, man,
talk.
with mad email.
Yeah, that's real talk.
Yeah,
You need that server that white man had when he was sending
Send it
out all
on
the
the
Tupac
free
emails.
I'm trying to get the white man Tupac
Right?
server.
Are you still down?
Yes, he's still there.
Yeah, no, thanks for having us, D.
No problem at all,
J. Cole's overrated.
Yes.
Nas is sleepy.
There we
Tupac is the best ever.
Yes,
And
yes.
T. Grizzly, that's another
Greasy,
conversation.
that's another
T. Grizzly is underrated, bro.
Yeah, T Greasy.
Blueface is trash.
Yes.
Silk the Shocker was the first one.
Thank you. And Silk Shock is one of the best rappers, Southern rappers
Right,
of all time.
But Blueface is trash.
What?
So you like Blueface.
See, that's a whole nother episode to unpack that bullshit right
Of
there.
all time, bro.
All right, Pooh. Let's
Second
can
only
we
to
end
Young
the
Turk.
show on some positive, on some understandable shit.
Shit, rest in peace to Tupac, rest in peace to
Yeah, man.
Orlando Anderson, Baby Lane.
Yeah. Anybody who lost their lives in the
Yeah,
street.
I
Look,
mean-
again, when we're in this garage, we talking real shit. And we don't mean to offend. We don't mean to disrespect. But that's what we doing. We just talking. It's our personal feelings around the situation. As you can hear, there's a lot of different viewpoints that we can give you. And honestly, we didn't, for the sake of being super respectful, we didn't unpack a lot of shit that we can introduce. We're being real, what's the word?
Cautious.
PC. And cautious about what we're discussing because maybe the masses aren't ready to digest a lot of this.
You see, I was starting to go there. And
You were starting to go there. Yeah, and you're not the only one that can, but we trying to be real respectful in regards to talking about something that people definitely have a feeling about. So again, I want to thank y'all for coming through on this conversation about hip hop. I am your host, Hip Hop Old Head D. Mulraney, aka Hip Hop's Uncle Phil, aka Suge Knight of Pasadena.
No, nigga, the original Suge of the underground scene, aka Trey Flavors, aka 3 Scoops, aka nigga, my Puerto Rican mama will kick you out the garage if you ain't got the rent, aka I love that nigga, aka Raymond Street, motherfucking Pasadena Summer Street. I'm telling you, he was there before I was, and that's my nigga, and I love him.
And I respect that, man. We're going to go ahead and close this out again. Check us out, man. Facebook, IG. What that Young Ma shit? That shit got to go. Without the braid. He looked like Young Ma, though. No, he looked like Young Ma, illegitimate brother and shit. You Young Bra. That's who he is, Young Bra.
They got the same chin hair.
They got the same chin hair.
Young Bra.
Young Bra. That's who he is, Young Bra.
It ain't Young Bra. It's Young Bruh.
Young Bra. Young Bra. He there picking up all the females she don't want to smash.
Top 50 female rappers of all time,
That
Young
is not
Ma, bro.
saying
How are you
nothing.
gonna say that?
I can't name 50.
Yeah, that's not saying nothing.
Coming in at 50. Coming in at a smooth 50.
Coming at 50, Young Ma.
At a generous 49.
Yeah, coming in at 49, Bad Baby or whatever that broad's name is. Get out of here, man.
Daniel Bragogi is 50 and Young Ma's 49. My nigga.
Damn.
So your list is complete.
Yeah, there you go. But
Now
again,
25.
thank you for listening to Anonymous Conversation about hip hop. Download us anywhere you can find us. Google us, Facebook, IG.
I want to get home from Chino.
Hey, it's a long way. Yeah. But we out. And until next episode, peace.